in this story in CTC Sentinel, which we're just publishing, he is revealing that the ringleader in this plot in Paris, Abdelhamid Abaaoud, that night he was outside the Bataclan where that massacre took place for more than an hour, speaking very animatedly into a cell phone, a hands-free cell phone. And the interpretation of this is that he was stage managing what was going on inside the Bataclan concert hall itself, in touch with the attackers as the attack was ongoing. And earlier that night, he had been in touch with the stadium attackers as well, right until the time when they blew themselves up. Chris, some stunning new details.
Absolutely. Jean-Charles, pat on the back to you for some excellent reporting on this. This is a battlefield-type tactic, not familiar to us in terms of terror attacks. What do you make of how this information came to you and what you think the significance is?
Well, I've been able, indeed, a couple of days ago to interview a witness whose testimony was taken by the investigators. The witness was parked in a car for more than an hour, a couple of blocks away from the Bataclan and from the scene. And the witness describes that a man was shouting and yelling over the phone for all an hour, very agitated. And the witness came across, actually, in full light of this individual that night. The witness didn't know who it was, and only discovered days later when the picture of Abaaoud surfaced in the media who it was. And indeed, the interpretation is Abaaoud, as Paul just said, was in full control of the various phases of the plot, including with in phone contact with a suicide bomber at the Stade de France. According to the prosecutor, he came back in Paris and went around the various scenes of the shootings in the 10th, 11th arrondissement, and then near the Bataclan. It suggests that we faced a very dynamic threat plot, actually, moving from one place to another in order to make it longer in terms of and more difficult indeed to stop at the end, because and we've seen the plot then moved to Saint-Denis, and finally the presumed ringleader was killed. Abaaoud was killed in Saint-Denis, but it took a long time until we get to him.
We thought it was brazen for him to be hanging out near the same city that they attacked, let alone outside the targets, orchestrating behavior. Again, Paul, this is battlefield-type marshalling, not what we're used to seeing in a terror attack, certainly of the suicide variety. What do you make of it from a strategic standpoint?
I mean, this is coordination of terrorism in real time from the ringleader on the ground. It's really quite extraordinary. Remember, we saw in the Mumbai attacks back in 2008, the attackers in that plot, they were in touch with handlers, but they were all the way back in Pakistan over the phone. Well, in this case, the ringleader right there on the ground, controlling this, stage managing this in real time. And as Jean-Charles has been laying out, this was a very dynamic operation. It wasn't just a static terrorism attack happening in one instant or a few instants, like, say, the London bombings back in 2005. This was a multi-hour rolling event, and indeed, Abdelhamid Abaaoud had plans for a second wave of attacks when they had that raid on the safe house in Saint-Denis on November 18. He was planning an attack on a shopping center at La Défense in Paris. Also, we've learned that he had knowledge of plans to attack schools and Jewish targets in France. And just this morning, we have seen a stabbing of a kindergarten teacher, Chris, in Paris. By somebody saying this is for the Islamic State, this is for ISIS, a very interesting connection given what Abdelhamid Abaaoud was planning.
Yeah, two different looks at different ways that the enemy is trying to attack those who love peace.